Theodore, I know you're very bullish on the company. What was the best news for Tesla, you think, out of today's press conference?
About managing expectations when the Gen 3 product comes out. I don't think that customers with Model S have range anxiety, and this is clearly about managing the driver part of the experience. And with the potentially smaller battery than Gen 3, range anxiety will be a bigger issue, and I think this is going to address a couple of those issues for them.
And that's many years away, yes, Theodore? When do you expect the car? When did you expect the car, and when do you expect it now?
2017. It'll be tied to the Gigafactory. When the Gigafactory is up and running, then we'll have the Gen 3 car.
Steve Levine, what are the technological limitations to creating this car for the masses, right? Not the luxury $100,000 Tesla or whatever you want to spend in Tesla. They say the base price is $70,000, but you end up spending the average price is a lot closer to 100. To sell a $30,000 car, what do they have to overcome technologically that they haven't done already?
Thanks. I'll answer that, but I wanted to say something first, and that was a follow-up to what Mr. O'Neill said. I got a different message from what Elon said in his press conference, because he said that 200-mile range is a passing grade for an electric car. He criticized, he scorned what the question regarded GM's plans for a 200-mile car. He scorned that and said if you have 200 miles, that's only a passing grade, and that the sweet spot that Tesla shoots for is 250 to 350 miles. I saw that as a signal that the Model 3 is actually going to shoot for longer range, that it's going to try to get into the 250 to 300-mile range.
Yeah. But and to be clear, the Model S, the cheaper version of the Model S, the one that starts at 70 and change, has a 200-mile range, or according to Tesla. The more expensive version has a range that's closer to 280, I guess, they say.
Yeah, and also he went on to say that even if you do have 200 miles and you get that passing grade, it has to be a real 200 miles. It can't be that you have your air conditioning off, that you're crawling along at 40 miles an hour, that the weather is perfect. It has to be real driving conditions. So I got the impression that he was setting the bar differently from how we until now have been looking at that race among the car makers for that car, the 200-mile car in 2017, 2018. I think he's saying that at least there's going to be the option to go further than that.
That's interesting. Theodore O'Neill, Elon Musk often sets a high bar. For example, last quarter they said they would sell over 11,000 cars. They sold 9,800. When he sets a high bar, should we think of that as his own aspirations or the promise from a public company CEO?
Oh, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. And if they can get the Gen 3 to get 250 to 300 miles, I'm not sure where they're going to shoehorn all those batteries in, but if they can do that, that'll be great. That'll be super. But the issue today that they talked about in their press conference was about software and not really about the batteries, but how to let the customer be comfortable with letting the car control the charging aspect, the planning aspect, so that you don't have to worry about running out of battery power.
Yeah, and to be fair, Steve Levine, it was, one might mock this. I may have already mocked it as just a warning light coming on the dashboard. But in fact, it does sort of say, hey, if you drive beyond you are now about to drive beyond the range of the nearest charging station. So if you don't turn around from the direction you're going right now and get to a charging station immediately, it's your own fault if you run out of juice, right?
He's saying what Musk said today, in effect, is that range anxiety is a psychosomatic malady. It's totally mental. I'm going to give you bedside manner. I'm going to be the kind doctor. I'm going to tell you when you're sick, when you're about to be sick, if you don't do something about it. My car, he said, my cars effectively go far enough. If I can put in a 500-mile battery, he said, but it would be dead weight in the car. So really what you need is that kind doctor.
So, Steve, let me ask you finally, do you think that the competitive efforts to come up with a better battery might actually alleviate these worries of distance in a much bigger way? or is that still too far off pie in the sky? GM might have great dreams, but they're not going to get there anytime soon.
No, I think this still is the essential tension in the industry. The folks like GM and really the rest of the industry that's trying to create the super battery and thinks that that's where the tire hits the road, and then Elon Musk who thinks I'm going to engineer my way there. I'm going to create the mental framework for people to feel calm about owning an electric car, and I'm going to build a gigafactory, a gigantic lithium-ion battery factory that cuts the cost by 30%.